Come on!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We got a busy one tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I promise. Hang around. This portion of the show brought to you in part by DMX Lawn and Landscape. We're going to make you mow your lawn up in here, up in here. Extreme Class Limousine. Our good friend Guy over there, not only does he do limousine service, he does errands, and of course he's grocery guy. If you need to get your groceries done, go see Guy at Extreme Class Limousines. Gloss and Glam by Julianne, your lip sense dispenser. She's the one that does all of Colleen's makeup. So if you love Colleen's makeup, hit up Colleen. She'll get you in touch with Julianne and how to get you hooked up. All right, let's get the show started.
And now, our feature presentation.
This is Ed McMahon. And now, here's Andrew.
A busy show, but a light cast tonight. What's going on? Bottom two squares, we got Denny Crum, Southside Gina, our special guest from the East Coast, Tony D from the Tony D Show.
No.
And then no Jake Dickey, no Sugar Vermont, no Chris Tiefel, no Holly Rupert. Whoa, that's right.
I'm sad about all of those except one.
We have to figure out which one that is. Colleen Z will be in a moment. Let's get this show started.
Andrew Z in the morning.
Woo! So we do this thing on the show called a SIFTA. That means because we check in here about 8:30, and then we just make sure the microphones sound good, volume's good, everything's good, and everyone's working. And then so we kind of conversate back and forth a little bit around 8:30. And whenever there's something good said in the pre-chat, we say "sifta, sifta, 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 sifta," which
it drives Chris Tiefel crazy.
It does, because it's an acronym for "Save It for the Air." Because unlike most shows out there, I hate faking it. So I want to hear it for the first time and get genuine reaction the first time. And so Tony D slipped a story in on me. And I didn't know we were going to use it until I found out it was so good. I realized, damn. So I've already kind of heard it, but it's okay. It's that good that you want to hear it again. So we didn't sift it. So we've kind of heard. We've got a preview. I don't think Gina got the preview, but okay. So Tony D, you don't drink.
Gina, don't
right?
get all hot and bothered right now. All right.
So you don't drink, right?
I don't drink anymore. Listen, I can count on one hand how many times I've been drunk.
So all four of us on the show right now, Tony D, myself, Gina, and Denny, none of us drink.
I'm probably the only one who's never drank though.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But Gina,
I used to get blackout drunk until I puked.
Now I know your house is an alcohol-free house, Gina, but are you alcohol-free?
Yes, I haven't drank in 2 years because Dubs is a recovering alcoholic. So I'm his sober support. So I quit drinking too.
Good for you. Okay, so no one on this show drinks right now, but Tony D, you were talking about when something happened on your 21st birthday.
Oh, real quick, Jake Dickey drinks enough for all of us though, so it's okay.
Take it for us.
That is true. All right.
Speaking of, hi Mama Judy and hi Ashley.
Hi,
Jake knows I love him. I couldn't let that one slide.
All right, so let's hear your 21 birthday story there, Tony D.
All right, so 10 years ago. 21st birthday, parents decided let's get a keg, let's do some stuff in the backyard. My brother's checking in right now, so he's gonna get a kick out of this. So so I got blackout drunk, wound up falling asleep on a lawn chair, one of those cheap ones to begin with those little like pink rubber things that when you're laying on it, you would stick to it like an old Italian sofa.
You mean,
man.
You mean it's like slits, like the vinyl slits?
The vinyl slits, but it was like plastic from Walmart, the cheap one.
You have marks all over your skin from it.
Oh, dude, I don't know how many times. Like I don't sit in those loungers like that. Those vinyl ones.
Those don't support you.
Number one,
No, they leave like giant indents from fat people.
Yes,
Giant.
It rolls for the whole day.
Yeah, your rolls will like fall in there, and I'm like, dude, and then I can't get up, dude. I'm like, no. See,
Andrew looks like a half-open can of biscuits.
And it's only like aluminum tubing.
That one friend that's like poking underneath at it. It's like, stop touching that.
One thing about me is I don't carry myself as a fat guy. Like, I don't put myself in fat situations to where I'm going to look stupid as a fat guy. I really avoid those. So I know that I avoid those lounge chairs because that's one of the things that fat people just like pour themselves into one of those things and then look stupid getting out. So I just avoid
Andrew,
that
you wore a red shirt the other day, and I couldn't decide between a Winnie the Pooh joke and a Hey Kool-Aid Man joke.
So we just made them all while we were waiting for you to get on air.
Actually, it's the third day I've worn that shirt in a row. I've still got the red shirt on.
All right, sorry, we're getting too far away from the story, though.
With quarantine, I do the smell test, and I'm like, dude, that's another day out of that thing for sure. No doubt. All right, so you're 21. You're in one of those lounge chairs.
Yes, drunk. All right, drunk, laying there, and I allowed someone to tattoo me supposedly. So
you were awake when this happened? They didn't wait for you to pass out? Like,
I was awake to the point that I felt the chest tattoo.
Jesus.
But I didn't know what I was getting until the next day when I woke up and it felt like someone, Mike Tyson, punched me in the center cavity.
I can't believe family would let that happen because you're not allowed to get tattooed drunk. But I'm sure if it's family, there's some sort of waiver that you've given. But I just can't believe consciously they would do that because that's a lifetime drunk decision. That's so bad.
Andrew, I've been living with it for 10 years. Tell me about it.
I can't.
So I'm a big Philly guy, right? Big, huge Philly guy. So someone decided, hey, let's put the Philly area code on Anthony's chest. Let's put a 215. So here, for everyone looking,
so they decided for you?
That's it. It's crooked to begin with. And when they did it, they put gunshot holes in it with shotgun shells at the bottom, and it's crooked. So every time that we go anywhere publicly, like when like the family has like a barbecue and they have the built-in pool, everyone's always asking, why don't you take your shirt off when you go in the pool? Nah, I'm sun sensitive. There's a lot of people that don't know that this is on my chest. I've been hiding this for 10 years.
Oh God, I can't, dude.
10 years. I've been hiding this.
They decided for you, like you didn't decide like I want the Philly area code somewhere on me. They were like, this is what we're doing. We're putting this on
I
you.
had no input on it at all, Danny.
And the person who did it, were they at least a tattoo artist? I mean, because it doesn't look like
he hooked me up later down the line. He gave me a bunch of free time.
Oh, okay, that looks cool.
Jesus, dude. I can't believe that. Go ahead, Danny.
Well, if we're moving on, I have like my best friend. He has a story close to that. He I'll tell it from his perspective. He woke up from a bender, right? And his leg was sore as hell. And he said he checks his bank account and he's missing several $100s out of his bank account. And he looks on the back of his leg where he got a tattoo. His last name is Bofia, Bofia. On the back of his leg, it's Bofja.
Oh God. Oh.
He got his spelled wrong tattooed on him on the back of his leg, and he's kept it on there ever since. Dude. So we call him Bofja now.
Bofja. my ex. Go ahead, Tony.
Is he cool with it? Like, is he like he's just perfectly fine?
Now he thinks it's a hilarious story because like we've asked him like, hey, like you could go get this covered up or fixed or something, and he goes, dude, it's such a funny story now. Like, and it's funny, like he hid it from his dad for probably a good year before his dad finally found. Like he wore pants in the summer, keep it from his dad. Like, but yeah, it's friends. but now like he has so many stupid drunk stories. Like this was just kind of added onto the list. But getting that tattoo is definitely up there.
So for Colleen has a tramp stamp with her ex's name on there. which annoys the crap out of me. She's dumb enough to let that happen. Number one, but here's the other story. Is so my ex, his name is Michelle. Well, her sister, because she loves her sister so much, she got a tramp stamp with her sister's name on it.
That's not a good place for a sister's name.
Well, I know. Well, here's the worst part: is it's misspelled. So it's Mishael. It's Michielle. It misspelled the name. So not only does she have her sister's tramp stamp on her, it's misspelled. I can't.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can't even. Go ahead.
As many tattoos as I've had, I don't see how that mistake happens. I mean, because I got.
You draw it out. Don't you have to sign? I don't have any tattoos. Don't they make you sign something like, "Hey, this is the way we're doing it"?
Well, everyone that I've had, they draw on and this wax paper, and then they put it on your body, and and it's on this it's this ink, and they trace over it and shade it in from there. Yeah. So anything that's had words on it, the words are there for you to see. I know some people have gotten their tattoos done freehand, and then there's the jailhouse tattoos, or
right.
People at tattoo parties and dumb stuff like that. But if you go to a reputable place, and because with my friend, he just spelled his name wrong for the guy. He thought his name was Bovja because he was that drunk.
Did he slur the name, or
probably, or maybe I don't know if he wrote it down for the guy and the guy, but but he was so drunk he was right, go with it.
Bovja. All right, go ahead, Gina. What were you going to say?
So when I was 19, I went with my friend to get a tattoo, and we were tripping on acid because I was off the chain, right? And we were drunk too. So we go, and I helped her pick out her tattoo, which ended up being this smiley face with its tongue out and says "shit" at the bottom, like shit face. Because I was like, ha ha, we're shit faced. And the next thing I remember that part, and the next thing I remember, I'm in the chair next to her, also getting a shit-faced tattoo. And I'm like, wait, I didn't want a tattoo. And so he takes out this, I don't know what you call them, the big swords that are curved. He's like, I can fix it for you. And I'm tripping on acid still. And I'm like, no, it'll grow on me. I'll keep it. It's okay. So now I have shit face tattooed on my right ankle along with one of my very good friends. It's the only tattoo I have.
Oh, that's the worst. All right, we haven't answered the phone in a month, and it's behind me, so I don't even remember that's back there, but 419-931-6032 if you have a bad tattoo story. 419-931-6032. Go ahead, Tony D.
So I know one of my friends is checking in tonight, and I know his tattoo, and he has "Made in China" on his ass. And he has publicly made it known on Facebook many a times that
Please tell me he's Chinese.
He is not.
So it doesn't even make sense. I think
he was shipped from Amazon, so
or maybe he was conceived on a trip.
There we go.
That's funny, dude. All right. I got a bunch of people checking in. Betty Greer's checking in. Deborah Wynandy. Colleen Dumas checks in all the time. Thank you. My buddy Keith Milligan from the high school days, or even before that, actually. Michelle Weisenberger, Ted Gonzalez, Tiffany Podak, Alan Bannister checks in. I love Alan Bannister. Checks in all the time. Ernie Miller checks in all the time. Missy Dominique, Dale Hennigan, Julie Bowers, Ronald Tyra as well. All chat. Very cool. This portion of the show brought to you in part by RCI Interior Designs, specializing in residential, small commercial, and senior living interior designs. Memorable Lights brings your memories to light with 3D print lithophanes, photos seen through light. They offer all forms of delivering your memories in light. They have night lights, cube lights, and coming soon, lampshades. Check it out, memorableights.us. All right. So I want to talk about this. Everyone is going crazy on my Facebook page since I posted it. So it's obviously a big topic of discussion because people are going crazy over this thing. So the CDC has come out. First of all, we talked about yesterday. Mike DeWine said, I think we might be going back to school in August. So that's what the governor said. And then the CDC has come out with some school guidelines. And moms are losing their minds right now at how strict they are. So I'm just going to run them down for you. Gina, do you want to give your disclaimer?
So somebody looked at the CDC page and then made a list of basically worst case scenario and made it sound like it's absolutes. For instance, I think is the first one wear a mask?
Yes.
Okay, so it says on this list that they're going to make kids wear masks, but what it says on the CDC website is that they recommend wearing masks if you're able to and in the situations where you can't social distance. So keep that in mind when we read this list, that they're taking these things slightly out of context, and I feel like making them a little over the top.
Yeah, but it's not that far different, really. I mean, but anyway.
Well,
okay.
no, but it speaks in absolutes, and it's not absolute. The CDC is making a recommendation. The state will make a recommendation from that, and then the districts will do whatever they see fit.
Right, but I mean, I bet a good portion of this is going to find its way into your local school, probably. Anyway, wear masks over the age of 2. No sharing of any items or supplies. All belongings in individual cubbies or labeled containers. No sharing electronic devices, toys, games, learning pads, nothing. You ain't sharing your Nintendo Switch. None of it. You can't share anything.
Which those shouldn't be at school anyway.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't even know.
I don't think so. I mean, you're there to learn, not to play Nintendo Switch.
Well, I would never let Jesse take his just because I know he
and kids steal stuff.
Well, that was my own interpretation, but I'm just saying no, they can't share supplies, no pens and pencils, nothing like that. Desks have to be 6 feet apart, all facing the same way. It's funny because I had a person text me today. They said, you've been kind of right about all this stuff. What do you think about going back to school, blah, blah, blah. I really feel that they're going to cut school in half. To my point is someone's going to go 2 days a week, like Mondays and Tuesdays, and someone's going to go Wednesday. The other half of the class is going to go Wednesdays and Thursdays. Right there, you're cutting your school people in half. And I think probably over a 10-day week, maybe you go 2 days and then 3 days, and the other one goes 3 days and then 2 days. But I don't think there's any way you're going to have all the kids at school because the desks have to be 6 feet apart, all facing the same way. And just physically, you've been in a classroom. There's no way 30 kids are going to be in a classroom 6 feet apart
and you can't, and it'll be impossible for teachers to corral kids that are 6 feet apart. Like it's just in places like especially Toledo Public, there is no way you can have a classroom full of 30 kids 6 feet apart. It's not possible.
So don't you think it's probably going to be a half and half type thing? You learn half the time you're learning at home, half the time
I'm not
going
to waste any time guessing because things are going to change 11 times between now and August.
Well, which is true. I mean, it's hard with the way the way this virus is going. It's hard to predict anything that long down. Go ahead, Tony.
So, do you guys transport through bus out there?
Yes,
most districts. Yes,
most districts. So they're saying desks 6 feet apart from each other, the distancing and all this, but you got to still get on the bus to go to school.
That's on the list.
That's the next one. Actually, good segue. Distance on school buses: 1 child per seat. Skip rows.
They better order more buses.
I know. Like the buses for our kids in Perrysburg are completely full.
Yeah, we have people on top of each other. That used to be my favorite thing. Like especially when I got in middle school and like in middle school and high school and stuff like that. And yeah, like the bus is full and like you holler at the girl. I was trying to holler at like, hey, you can sit on my lap. I got an extra seat right here, baby.
Of course.
So I mean, you had to.
So you've been a player your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, here's the other part. The other part of that is they're going to have to put some sort of monitor. There's no way you can expect a person driving a school bus. You know how bad those kids are. You can't expect them to that and then monitor them socially distancing. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to put some sort of monitor. Go ahead, Danny.
I mean, there was one time I had a girl. She was sitting on my lap and my hands were up like they weren't doing anything inappropriate, but there were some guys sitting next to me. I didn't know what they were doing. And like, they were like reaching behind me and like feeling on her butt. And I had no idea. And then when she got up to get off, she turns around, gives me a hug and she's like, call me. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right. Yeah. Not because I was honestly just, offering up my lap for a seat. And then when she got off, they were like, hey man, I think she likes you. I said, what you mean? They was like, she must have thought that we were you because she because we were over here copping a fill the whole time. I was like, that is wrong.
Yes, that is so wrong, actually. Okay. Install sneeze guards and positions in positions. Wait, I'm sorry. Install sneeze guards and partitions wherever you cannot space 6 feet apart. One-way routes and hallways, tape on the sidewalks and walls to assure kids stay 6 feet apart. No communal shared spaces, no like cafeterias, playgrounds, none of that. Physical barriers or screens between sinks in the bathrooms. Only prepackaged boxes of bags of food instead of cafeteria food. Kids eat in classrooms. So there are no lunches anymore. Kids are going to have to eat in the classrooms. No
lunch was the best time.
I know. And we went through a phase where like it was cool to buy lunch, and then it was cool to bring lunch, and so it kind of switched every couple of years. Like I loved the I used to get doubles. We can get doubles of the hot lunch.
Of course you
Oh,
did.
shocking.
Shut up.
It is shocking that it was only doubles.
Go ahead, Tony.
Is it just me, or were chicken patties the best lunch menu? Did you ever have them?
Yeah, I had. I think I remember the chicken patties. For me though, I mean, obviously the pizzas, the cafeteria pizza is the bomb.
The French bread?
What's that?
The French
The
bread?
French breads were good, but the little, did you guys have the rectangle
square
ones?
pieces?
Yeah, the rectangles. Yeah, for sure.
Those are great.
Hell yeah, with the fake sausage on there.
with the meat.
the mystery meat.
Yeah, they called it meat product.
Okay, so only prepackaged box of lunch. Got to eat in the classroom. No field trips. No assemblies or external organizations in the schools. Limit volunteers and visitors. Same children stay with the same staff all day. No switching groups of teachers. I was talking to my ex actually about this yesterday. I said the same thing. I said you're not going to be switching classes even if you're in junior high and high school because why? How are you going to switch 15 people? You'd rather switch one. I think the teachers are going to be switching instead of the students because once you're contaminating a desk, you can't disinfect in between each class. So you're going to have to do the teachers move, and that's what this is kind of saying. So I was right on that. They stay the same spot. Teachers, no switching groups, it says no teachers. How do you not switch groups or teachers? It says no switching groups or teachers.
It's like
So
in
if you're a
elementary
math
school,
teacher-
you just have one teacher.
Yeah, but if you're but in high school and junior high, they specialize. Like you
Good
have a
luck.
science teacher, you have a math teacher.
Guess some of our kids are coming out really good in math and really bad in science.
Right. I want the
It's
PE,
going
I want
down.
the PE teacher. Be the easiest classes ever.
Mallory will take all the art teachers.
Stagger arrival and departure times for students to limit exposure to crowds of kids. That's a good idea. So some kids may start at 7, some kids may start at 9 or 10, some get off at 2, some get off at 4 or 5. If possible, everyone's complaining about these, but we're trying to keep our kids safe. I mean, it's not going to be convenient. If possible, daily health and temperature checks and several rules about cleaning and disinfecting throughout the day and hand washing frequently. So that's some of the guidelines from the CDC about your kids going to school. Go ahead, Colleen.
All I'm saying is if any of those educators can get my kids to abide by any of those rules, have fun.
Oh, man.
Well, go ahead, Tony.
Nationwide. That should be nationwide other than the bus thing. I don't agree with the bus thing.
Yeah,
But
I know
the
it's
other rules nationwide.
It's tough, but you want to keep your kids safe. Well, here's the other thing: is someone said that obviously homeschooling is obviously an option. The states have the option of homeschooling, and I see.
I posted the link in the comments
on our page
for if people on the this video. So if people want to want to homeschool their kids or they're interested in finding out more, just go to that link.
And tell me, Gina's always good about telling me if I'm sounding racist. So but
if you have to say that you're sounding, you should just stop.
You don't even know yet.
Yes, I do. Because
You're batting 1,000 for it, Andrew.
Whatever is about to come out of Andrew's mouth is going to sound racist, but I promise you, Andrew is not racist.
No, I'm not.
I promise
I'm
he's
not. I have a black friend. So okay, that was okay, right, Gina? No, I'm kidding. But my point was that in the suburbs, like, because we live in Perrysburg, so there are a lot of mothers here that have had the opportunity to be able to stay home, whether their job was that let them stay home, or the dad makes the money and they stay home, or whatever. That's not really the option for a lot of minority kids, and even it's not really a race thing; it's more of a class thing.
Yes.
You can't.
Interchange the two of those things a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, but there is a lot of interchangement on the two. But anyway, my point was the suburban kids are so freaked out by their mothers that I don't think that they're going to even want to go back to school in August, because their moms have really freaked them out. Like, I know that's the way it is with my kids. Does that make sense? Like, not only the moms freaked out in the suburbs, but the kids are too, because
I think that's across the board. But honestly, there's a lot of kids across the board that are freaked out because parents are freaking out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, for a lot of parents though I don't even call them lower class, but they have to work. They've already been
don't do that.
They've already
working class.
They've already been out in it, so they're not as worried because they've had to be in it this whole time. And I'm saying that a lot of
I don't know that they're not as worried, because like Dubs is working every day, and we are equally as worried as somebody that's able to stay at home. We're terrified, probably more so than somebody that is able to stay at home.
I'm going to use our lovely suburban friends, the Pileckis here. And I'm going to point out that Donnie goes out every day, and that he is exposed every day with human-to-human contact, can't stay 6 feet apart when you're signing those papers, and Ashley's freaking out.
Yeah.
So, and that's a working class, and Ashley's having to go to work too. So I don't necessarily agree with that.
I think that's across the board.
Yeah, but my point is, they've been able to. If you've been out in the world though, you have to know how to adapt out in the world. If you've been shuttered in for 2 months, I think in your head it's worse, because you think the outside is like zombie land. Like you've been protecting yourself from zombie land, and now you're going to have to go out into zombie land, and you're more scared. But to where everyone else, we've been working in zombie land the whole time, so we're not as scared. Does that make more sense to what I'm saying?
No, not really.
Really?
I feel like this is terrifying across the board.
Okay, well, you're just wanting to say that because I absolutely am making sense to most people. Go ahead, Tony D.
So, like, I'm working in this. I work in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
So I deliver all the medication hospitals around my area, and has been out of work for the last 3 months. She is petrified of going out. Now, I get it. She doesn't want to go out. She doesn't want to go to the stores. When she goes to the Walmart, it's like I'm in and out. She's in and out in like 5 minutes. I've been working in it, so I've kind of become accustomed to it over the last 2 months.
Thank you.
So the first month, though, and Gina, this is where I was. My first month, I was losing my mind. My anxiety was through the roof because I didn't know what was going to happen. But after that first month subsided, it kind of got a little bit easier for me. But for my wife, though, for the last 3 months, it's not easy. So that's
what I'm saying. That she's hunkered in, and in your head, you think you don't want to go out there. You freak yourself out. Anyway, it's a moot point now, but everyone kind of gets where we're coming from. Here's what people are saying online. They say, when will the teachers take a break if you only can have one teacher? Stacy Chamberlain says it will never work. First, do you know how many buses that would require and how much it would cost?
That's what I'm saying.
On top of that, they've already cut so much money in the district. So where are they going to come up with all this extra money for buses? Go ahead, Colleen.
And Perrysburg already can't get the bus routes right.
I know. Tammy Reynolds says, from a teacher point of view, unrealistic, especially when you work in an inner city school. Greg Grover, where do you find this, by the way, because this isn't on their site?
No, the inner city schools are already underfunded, and then on top of that, and then the already then cutting the funding even more.
So Brightside TPS doesn't have buses for you have to walk if you live within a mile radius of the schools. So most kids walk anyway. So thankfully we don't have to worry about buses.
Yeah. Georgia Nottage says homeschooling it is. Rita Knob says this is beyond ridiculous. Cheryl Nelson, who's a teacher in TPS, is not feasible. Amy Van Mingen says, oh my. Jennifer Lynn said this wouldn't be possible. WLS schools would have to spend money on buses and desks. Do you really expect the elementary school to not touch one another or share things or even wear a mask? They better think of somebody else. most class. But again, everyone's rebelling. But I mean, it's for your own safety, for your own kids. I mean, what do you? The schools have to come up with a plan, and this sounds like a decent plan to me. What do you want them to do? Go ahead, Gina.
So slightly off topic, my parents, I've been like, my mom calls me Hitler because I won't let them leave the house. And I'm like, I tell them, like, I'm on it. Like, I won't, they're not allowed to go here. They're not allowed to go there. And so I message them every day telling them what they can and can't do. And my mom just put a cry for help on the feed that I shared the feed to my Facebook page. And she said, Gina won't let us leave the house. She's like putting out cries for help on my Facebook page.
Here, Lori Redder says, we will homeschool before we'll send our kids into a concentration camp. Wow. Go ahead, Denny.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's be hyperbolic here. But what I was going to say is, is it realistic to think that every school is going to get everything on this list check marked 100% and everything is going to go according to plan?
No,
well,
absolutely not. But that's not the point of all this.
Real quick,
the point of all this. Okay.
Oh no, go, Denny. I'm sorry. Make a point.
I said the point of all this is to reduce the amount of cases. So if this stuff is just followed most of the time or half of the time, that's that many less cases that are going to happen. That many, and you got to think. One person getting it is going to mean 20 other people getting it. So we reduce that, number by, 1,000 kids. That's going to be 20,000 less cases, which is, and that results in, 500 to 1,000 less deaths, right. According to this death rate. So, I mean, it's
Hardin, I'm sorry, Denny. Hardin County Schools in Kentucky has just put out a statement about 25 minutes ago. They're saying there is a graphic being passed around on social media that has the heading of "Here we go, new CDC guidelines for reopening schools." It's blue with a picture of the stethoscope on it, which is ours as well. Please ignore it. It's totally fake. We encourage everyone not to share it and go to the CDC website. I think using the words "totally fake," it's not. These are CDC guidelines. It doesn't mean that's what your school is going to do. But like Gina said, maybe the words are twisted a little bit to where they're just the worst case scenario, but it's not totally fake. I mean,
it's not completely fake, but it's not something we need to be sharing right now and everybody freaking out about. Well, that's not realistic. I mean, first, like I said, that this is going to change a million times between now and when school starts. So we don't even we really truly just let them do their thing.
We have 2 to 3 months before we even have to start worrying about these, this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let me get a sponsor in here. This portion of the show brought to you part by Lawn Greetings of Toledo. Say it in the yard for all occasions. Josie is getting her lawn greeting for her birthday party Saturday. So we're excited about that. And dude, he's doing such good deals. It's so cool. Whether you're graduating, whether your wife finds out you have a mistress and she wants to blast you in the neighborhood, you can put that out there in the yard. You can do just about anything you want in the yard. Say it with the lawn greetings, Colleen.
Disclaimer, it's not a party, it's a parade.
Oh, yeah. Special deals for Andrew Z listeners if you mention that you heard it here for Lawn Greetings of Toledo. Go ahead, Gina.
Also, Denny, the point of the recommendations is not anything other than, nobody should get this twisted. The point of the CDC recommendations is as plausible deniability, or no, it's legal deniability. They are saying, this is what you didn't follow the recommendations, so we're not responsible for anything that happened. It's on the districts, it's on the states. It is just the government, the federal government washing their hands of the whole thing. That's all that is.
Covering their ass.
Great point there.
Also, the number of people refusing to wear masks due to politics is an increasing concern among doctors. The growing number of people who are choosing not to wear masks due to politics is increasing concern as Texas reopens. This is a story from Houston. Wearing a mask has no longer just become a question of public health, as more people are making their decisions based on political ideologies. I can't.
I'm going to take a nap because I have nothing nice to say. I cannot do this. I need Jesus right now because I'm going to say a lot of things.
In what bizarre world is the guy at the top? That's where you're getting your medical advice. Like, that's what makes the most sense to you.
He's a reality television star, not a doctor.
Yeah. In what brain does anything that he says, as far as medically, going to make you go, that's what I listen to? Who are these other guys? This is who I listen to right here. He tells me he don't wear a mask. He takes dramachloroquine or whatever it's called.
Hydrochloroquine.
He doesn't care. Go ahead,
He
Dana.
says it the same way Andrew did, so it doesn't really matter.
Right?
So I have a plan for this. You ready to hear my solution?
Yes.
I am a problem solver.
Uh-huh.
I am going to make Trump 2020 masks, and I am going to market them as Obama and libtards hate it when you wear these masks. And all of them,
Yes.
I had to stop myself because I was going to say, all of those people are going to wear those masks to piss off libtards and Obama.
Yeah, I'll even make a post talking about how much I hate it.
Yeah, we will totally market these. I'm telling you, I think I got this. I think I can change this.
I'm loving the Diaper Donnie t-shirts that are out right now. Have you seen it? I mean, it's really small, but this is on a shirt. I mean, it's
Diaper Donnie. It's just unbelievable, man. This is the okay. And tell me if I'm wrong. And we don't want to get political. I really want to spend like 1 minute on this thing. But in my lifetime, I've been through some tragedies in this country: 9/11, the Great Depression of 2008. You know, there are several.
The original Great Depression.
Shut up. There are. I can never remember one where all of America didn't come together. And the president, no matter who it was, George W. Bush, doesn't matter, had a 90% approval rating. For you to be less than 50% during a crisis, what does that say to what you were doing to this country? I mean, am I right? Is there another one that's a tragedy that's been turned so political where everyone is not together as a country? Has anyone ever heard of this?
I want to do devil's
Katrina?
advocate. Hold on. What kind of fake news polls? That must be MSNBC. That's not real. Where did they ask? They didn't ask me.
He didn't ask me. That's a big one.
I'll say Katrina, but that was also so poorly handled that
Yeah, it was poorly. You know, and even I watch one of my favorite commentators. It's funny. All my favorite commentators are former Republicans. Everyone thinks that I'm this hardcore liberal, but Nicole Wallace, who was George W. Bush's, I think, press secretary, but she was in his administration. She even says that was a low point for their administration, Hurricane Katrina, that it was mishandled, and he's up over the poor people in the plane, and so I guess you're right, Denny. I guess Hurricane Katrina would be one.
To his credit, George Bush did handle 9/11 fairly well. At the beginning.
I mean, how could you? I mean, I feel like he did the best anybody could do. Like, I know a lot of Democrats will ride him because he kept reading the children's book when they came and told him, like, there was that big thing. What was he supposed to do in a room full of kindergarten? Stand up and start freaking out? Oh my God! Like, what was he supposed to do? He did exactly what he should have done in a moment where I don't think I could have maintained.
No, I think that was amazing the way he did.
Yeah, yeah. However, he was a terrible president. Also,
there is. That's not true. Come on, there is a.
He was bad.
There is a play.
I mean, he started a war completely unnecessary war.
There is a playbook for tragedy. Like, even there's no way Donald Trump is going to get saddled with 100,000 deaths because of the way he's handled this. He didn't have to. He could have
100,000 deaths if he's lucky. That's going to be the lowest.
I mean, if we're lucky,
there was a way to handle it, though, and it's just every point he's taken the divisive road. All right, we got to stop. I mean,
yeah, we do, because I got to take a nap.
Go ahead.
We were talking about masks, and earlier at the store, like, I felt like such a jerk because I had a mask on, and then like I had I have to constantly drink water, especially when I have a mask on, and so I lift up my mask to take a drink of water, and my mask broke, and it was the only one I had with me, and I was only 10% into my grocery shopping, and I'm like, now I'm gonna walk around this grocery store with this mask off, and everyone's gonna be sitting there like, oh, he's one of those guys, or one of those guys are gonna look at me like, yeah, he's one of us, and it's
even worse.
even worse. I mean, because I got a beard and tattoos, and so they're obviously going to be like, yep, I think I saw him at the rally, like,
because you do look like any Nazi white dude.
I do. Yeah, it's so bad. And but I was like listening to Beyonce on my way to the grocery store.
All right, here's a disturbing story locally. And I've been hearing some rumblings about the Tin Can downtown. Now, when it first opened up, that was the party spot. Everyone was doing birthdays there. They're giving out free T-shirts, blah, blah, blah. But I've been hearing from employees or ex and former employees that are reached out to me and said some really disturbing things about things that have been going on at Tin Can. Again, these are alleged but there are people that I trust. There are a couple people that I really trust that used to work there that have said some disturbing things. Well, now it comes out that detectives have searched the Tin Can in regard to alleged sexual assault investigation. A heavy police presence was seen at the bar this afternoon. Wait, today's Wednesday? Yesterday afternoon. Today's Wednesday. Tuesday afternoon. Toledo police say that after speaking with the detective bureau, they can confirm a search warrant was conducted at the bar in regards to an alleged sexual assault investigation. Police say a DVR was seized from the bar. No charges have been filed at this time. However, the investigation is ongoing. They're going to
DVR, does that mean like security cameras?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The security cam. So they're going to have to get their house in order over at the Tin Can because I was hearing before this story came out. I was hearing this rumblings of this stuff over the weekend. And into Monday, and then so a friend of mine that used to do security there said, that's what he said. So,
an exact quote there,
pretty much. All right, real quick, back to the Rona. I missed this story. Ohio. Did you see the Ohio judge has ruled that gyms and fitness centers cannot be penalized if they reopen? So they're going to be opening sooner than they were. I don't know if were they the 31st. Was that their thing? I can't remember the days, but
26.
26. So they're supposed to have another 6 days. But there was a civil lawsuit filed on behalf of 35 Ohio gyms and fitness centers against Dr. Amy Acton. Because I'm sure all these fitness centers, I know, roll your eyes, and the Lake County General Health District, and an Ohio judge issued a preliminary injunction Wednesday ruling the state cannot impose any penalties on gyms and fitness centers based upon solely not complying with the order of not reopening before May 26th. Again, this has just been such a political. Dude, she's a doctor. I've never seen anything where it's doing the science, following science, following medical, is become like. Oh, this place is crazy, dude. I can't.
The only thing I can say in even the slight defense of this is that I am also concerned about government overreach. I think it's possible to be terrified of this virus and want what's best for us and also be concerned about government overreach. Especially with this administration, like my concern is different than other people's concerns. Like I don't want Donald Trump to have the power to tell me what to do. Like that scares me.
But here's the thing. But you have to look on the other side. Well, then you can't have the other people telling you what to. Then Donald.
No,
Trump
I agree. I agree. That's why I don't want the slippery slope to even start. So I don't want them to be able to tell me what to do because I don't want Donald Trump to be able to tell me what to do. That's my point.
But that's what's screwing us. You have to let the government tell you what to do. Check with me in 90 days. We're in an emergency. Now, if we don't get the power back in 90 days, if we can't go out, if we're on martial law, I get it. But you have to secede some of your rights to protect a community and protect a country. You have to. Otherwise everyone does whatever the hell they want, and we're all just dead.
I wish that people weren't so inherently stupid, and then we wouldn't need the government to tell us what to do. Like, sit down, Chad and Karen. Stay the F home if you can. If you can't, wear a mask. Do what's good for society, and then the government doesn't have to tell you what to do. But you guys are being morons. So that's when it's kind of like even with my kids. I let my kids self-regulate for the most part. If you do everything you need to do, you do your homework, you do your chores, I will not bug you. You can have your screen time as much as you want. But if you don't do what you need to do, then I have to step in and regulate. And my kids are fairly decent about self-regulation, better than this society is. But these people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to self-regulate because you can't tell me what to do. You stupid. It's so hard to not cuss, yeah. But people are inherently stupid.
Go ahead, Denny.
Here's the thing. I have no idea what side of the political aisle Dr. Amy Acton is on.
No.
So I don't think that she's working with these nefarious actions. I don't know if she voted for Trump or if she didn't vote for Trump. But I know when she comes out with these guidelines, it sounds like it's, this is for the best interest of our public health.
Well, she's smart and educated, so I'm going to go ahead and assume she didn't vote for Trump.
That doesn't mean you don't. That doesn't mean they're not going to screw up. We're doing something we've never done before. The last pandemic was 100 years ago. Not saying that it's true, but you have to make decisions based on science, based on facts, based on medical. And then if you screw up, you got to say, I screwed up. Like there was a great point.
What we have available.
Right, exactly. And that's changing every day depending on what we do.
And what we learn, because this virus has changed. We didn't know anything. We were in the beginning, we were going by previous viruses from Corona family. And so they were just guessing, like, hey, let's just be for precaution, just do this, do that. And then they started learning as they went. So things have changed, and oh my gosh, they change things every day. First of all, no, Facebook changes things every day, dummies. Go to the CDC website. Stop believing Facebook memes. The number one thing we can do to educate ourselves is stop turning to Facebook. Go to the WHO website. If you don't trust them, go to the CDC website. And if you don't trust them, call your doctor.
This is how Russia hacked the election.
Yeah, exactly.
So many of this misinformation that's out there literally is foreign governments trying to destabilize.
Now, if you believe Donald Trump, please take your hydrochloroquine, take your bleach, please. Thank you. All right.
So Gina, you're telling me all those Joe Exotic memes, I shouldn't listen to them?
If they're funny, laugh.
You should definitely laugh at everything you see on Facebook, quite literally.
Yes,
everything.
Exactly.
And then go to the CDC website for your actual information.
Thank you. All right. We got a quick break, and then we're going to get to our guest. This portion of the show brought to you part by Bear Auto Detail. Number one detail company in Toledo is they're tearing it up. Ask her for the Andrews E special. They got specials starting at just $20. Lufka all natural skincare and household cleaners, reusable household products, natural toothpaste, body scrubs, soaps, lotions, essential oils, and so much more. Check out Lufka all natural. And Glick Electrical Services, providing you with both commercial and residential clients. Our services range from installing simple light fixtures to installing generators in factories. They do it all. Provide you with the service you deserve. Call Glick Electrical today. All right, now it's time for our special guest, who I'm super excited about. Her name is Sarah Weiss. She's the CEO and founder of SaaS Boss. What? Don't you have to snap when you say that? SaaS Boss. Author of Not Born This Way.
Her mic is muted.
She's what's that? Oh, her mic.
There
There she got it. Reprogramming a life coach whose purpose in life is to help you go from victim to prosperous. What? Super you. Sarah Weiss on with us. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. How's it going?
Good. We're so happy to be with you. Now, you are like here's what you told me, and I have to hear this. Just in the quarantine, you've started 2 six-figure companies, started them from scratch just in quarantine. Is that true?
One of them I started. The other one I started 6 months ago. So my coaching business, which the SaaS Boss, the whole SaaS Boss brand, I started 6 months ago. And 2 weeks ago, it hit 6 figures. So.
Wow. And then what's the one you started just in quarantine?
I launched a cryptocurrency mining network marketing company.
Was it MLM for crypto marketing, for cryptocurrency?
Yeah, something I didn't know a thing about 3 months ago.
What kind of cryptocurrency are you doing? Litecoin, Bitcoin, or all of it, or anything particular?
So we're actually launching a new exchange with a new token. For anyone who knows about Binance, launched an exchange. When you exchange, Bitcoin to Litecoin to Ripple to Ethereum, you pay an exchange fee on an exchange. So with a company like Binance, they opened up their exchange, they made billions of dollars, and then they launched their own token. And they said, if you use our token, we will save you money on the exchange fees. So that went insane, and we're basically modeling we're modeling that successful business, and we have an edge on them because the more of our token you hold, the less you pay in fees.
Now, I know you're a life coach, and people are having hard times right now. What would you say to people that are going through it? Whether it's, hey, I don't want to go back out there, whether it's I'm not getting unemployment, I'm not making money, I don't have a job. What the hell would you say to them right now, Sarah? I mean, this is like the worst of all worsts.
Well, you know what's crazy about this, and you know, you were talking about Facebook and all the stuff on Facebook. Well, everyone's on there,
Yeah.
and something I've learned about the world is you can't change the world. You got to learn to operate within it. And I noticed that the need for what I had to offer was changing. I'm really good at posting content that'll motivate you, it'll inspire you. You know, all this content that lights that fire up. Well, I realized that in the beginning of this whole quarantine, people were freaking out. They didn't need motivation. What they needed was some smiles. They needed to be happier and that reassurance that they were going to make it through. So I had to back up. And I'm empathic, huge energy that was going on. It messed me up. I had to back off of social media for like a week, and I just stayed away from the energy. So it was just crazy. There's this big us versus them mentality. They're doing this wrong, and I'm judging them, and they're judging me. It's like, I caught myself judging the judgers.
Yes, I know.
Yes, yes,
so true.
Right, so I was like, bad Sarah, you're a CEO, you stop that. So I backed up and I took a breath and I was like, okay, how can I help now? It's different. Things are different.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help people smile and just reassure them that this too shall pass? So I came back with, how can we have fun? How can we just get silly and loose and just forget about what's going on all around us? Because between Trump and I'm in Canada and our PM's talking moistly, things are just crazy over here. So
you're in Canada.
Impeach him immediately.
Well, in his defense, he's a pretty great looking guy though, so I'll let him talk to me.
Oh
like
yeah. Oh, he's got me talking moistly in all the wrong places.
I will trade you Donald Trump for Justin any day.
We'll trade you. We'll trade you Trump and a president to be named later for
hard pass.
Trudeau.
Hard pass.
Wait, seriously, we'll get back to this. But what does your country think about what's going on in this country the last 3.5 years? I wonder what I mean, you guys are like our neighbors. What are you guys thinking about what's going on here?
They're laughing at us.
Are you laughing at us, Sarah? Tell the truth.
I have a few Canadian friends. They're definitely laughing at us.
Well,
at the same time, they feel bad.
Well, I think it's more that. I was going to say it's not as funny as it is
sad.
Sad, right? Yeah.
Tony,
one of my
go ahead, Danny. You go first.
One of my favorite memes is like it says, Canada is like the really nice apartment above a meth lab.
That's so true.
So true.
Tony D, go ahead.
Is it true that Canada is giving the citizens there money every month? They're getting paid every month.
Are we playing Truth or Dare?
How has Canada? I mean, it basically was asking how has Canada handled this differently than the U.S. Are you guys getting money to stay home so you're not freaking out like we are?
Yeah. So it's called the CERB. I don't even know what it stands for.
Uh-huh.
I personally, I don't watch the news. I'm staying out of this. I've got a nice little bubble. I like my bubble. I'm happy in my bubble. And I teach people to step out of their bubble, which is funny. But I like my bubble right now. I'm avoiding all the fear mongering. I mean, fear does us no good. It really does. And there's so much, like you guys were talking about as I came in, Facebook has all the news, right? All the real news.
Yeah.
So I'm staying away from all of it. I don't care where the news is coming from. I'm just, I just want to know, when can I, travel? When can I go back to the beach? When can I hug people again? Because I'm a squishy person. I like to squish people.
Yeah.
I can't squish people.
No.
So that's all I care about.
One person I saw on Facebook that said, you got to watch out because I'm a hugger. First time I hug you, I might break a rib. But
that was that Ashley Kelly?
I think so.
It would hurt so good, though.
I know, right? It'd be the best reason to break a rib ever. I got hugged too hard and I broke a rib. It'd be the best.
But I don't think Ashley's little tiny arms would fit around you.
How dare you? Shut up. All right, Sarah. So okay.
We might need a group hug for Andrew.
Hey, my arms
We'll lock arms. We'll lock arms.
Hands across America.
Shut up, Gina.
Hey, my
Round
arms
two.
almost fit.
Okay, so for those at home that are really down in the dumps, they live off Facebook. Their life is messed up. What are you going to say to them right now to turn this crap around, Sarah?
Ready for some coaching, guys?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I am so ready. Please.
Yes, please.
My life's pretty fantastic, but I'm still ready.
Oh, I'll crack you open. Don't test me.
Oh.
So here we go. This is what life is. It's us trying to control the uncontrollable. Welcome to 2020, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, nobody could predict that we were about to go through something like this. No one could. And because we are obsessed with control, we're obsessed with it. I don't care who you are. You're a control freak, even though you think you aren't. When we lose control, we freak out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are freaking out right now. They lost control. Something happened that they didn't account for. And here's what I've realized. We have control over 2 things in life. That's it. We can control what we focus on and how we respond to a situation. That's it. So while everyone's freaking out, I sit here and I ask myself, what do I want to focus on? And how do I want to respond? And I come up with awesome answers all the time. You know, I want to focus on how can I give back to the world? I want to focus on, my goals in life. I want to focus on my purpose. My purpose is to help people be the light in their dark, to empower people, to help them go from being a victim to being empowered, super versions of themselves. So I focus on that. And then I ask myself, how do I want to show up and respond? I want to show up with compassion and love. I want to show up with caring. I want to be there for people. I want to support people. That is what I have control over, and that's where I'm at. And I can help you guys do the same thing by asking you a simple question. What do you want to focus on, and how do you want to show up?
Mm. Who wants to jump in? Go ahead, Colleen.
What happens if I want to focus on shopping?
Then you're going to show up on Amazon right now. She ain't going out very far.
That's what we've been doing. That's Colleen and I's coping. We have weird stuff happening, showing up. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
You guys are the sole reason that Jeff Bezos has made like $33 billion in the last 6 weeks.
I feel like he should send me a thank you card.
I was looking at that. I was like, oh my gosh, I need that wall.
You get that on Amazon? Oh,
I'm gonna need a
Well,
link.
guess what Colleen and I are doing later?
Sarah, can you send Andrew a link? I can get to it from his phone. It's okay.
yeah. Wait, let me ask you. So, does Canada have an Amazon, or do you just use the American Amazon?
I can't deal with
Ours
you.
is called Amasori.
Is it really? Are you messing with me?
She's messing with you.
Damn.
Oh,
you're
man.
Like, you're like Facebook
Look,
right now.
Thank you so much for confirming that Americans are stupid, Andrew.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, but before you got on, I had to explain to Andrew that all Canadians don't talk with their heads opening all the way up, like on South
Oh
Park.
my God, South Park, my favorite.
What?
So Andrew is a very gullible person.
I do. I believe everybody.
He does.
Okay,
Well,
so
this will be fun then.
Yeah, let's get back to what Sarah was saying because she has me feeling good. I want to
I
hear
know.
more.
I just had to.
I just
All right.
keep talking.
So what do you want to? So
Can
what-
we Zoom later? I need this.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, that is so positive. Just
can.
you can control what you focus on and control how you act or how you respond
Okay,
to
I
it.
actually have a legitimate question. So, like me, I have horrible focus problems. Like, I might focus on something for like 5 minutes. And then I'm like, ooh, squirrel, butterfly, ooh, baby, ooh.
Oh, bird.
Yeah. Oh, wait, something, there was
Choose
a
the
noise.
next focus. When you find you're losing focus on one thing, pick another thing to focus. I have ADHD too. Trust me, girlfriend, I'm with you. I see all the squirrels as soon as they cross my peripheral. I'm on it.
Do you go feed them too?
Oh, I know. I let them come to me.
So
She's so positive. She does have that like that Cinderella Snow White
I
vibe. The
know.
animals just come to her and sing in like song and like like a choreographed dance.
exactly, Gina, go ahead.
So, I'm also an empath too. Like you were speaking right to my soul, like everything you were saying. And I also have ADD. But what I do, just to throw this out there and along the same lines, is that I am a control freak. I have come to that conclusion. I admit it. I embrace it. It is what it is. So I control the things that I can control. Like you say, I focus and I am almost OCD about my grocery shopping and my meal planning because I can control that. And people think that's really weird, but that's something that's within my control. The other thing I do is cleaning. When I'm feeling extra anxious, I will pick an area of the house, if it's just like my desk, if it's a closet, and I clean and organize that because I can control that. And once you'll be shocked if I just stuttered, shocked if once you do that, once you clean even one tiny little area of your house and you have it nice and organized, how much better you feel and how much anxiety is released just from that one little thing.
Well, there's two things I want to say. So the first thing is you're so right. This is why making your bed is so important. It's the first thing in your day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can tell who's having a rough time right now.
I disagree with that so much. My fiance will make the bed, and I will go mess it up because I tell her it's the biggest waste of time. Because we're getting right back in it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but Sarah,
It's the first way to set order to your life in your day.
That's what she tries to tell me, but I think it's bullshit.
It sets the tone, and it also is the first thing you can accomplish something right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I accomplished. See, for you, it would be a big accomplishment, clearly, because it's not something you even agree with. So if you did it, that's an accomplishment.
I'm more
pushing
comfortable
yourself out of your bubble.
Well, and it's interesting, Sarah, because there's an admiral or someone really high in the military, Admiral Craven, and I think he's the guy that got Bin Laden. He led the mission to get Bin Laden, and his book is about the first thing you do is make your bed, and you want to be successful in life, and you want to do this, you want to do that. Make your bed. So you're the second person, high-profile person, that has said the exact same thing. So there's obviously something to it.
There's something to it, but I'm not going to say that Denny's doomed for life because he doesn't make his bed.
I'm doomed for life for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But
It's other reasons. It's all the other reasons.
Okay,
Exactly.
what was the other thing you wanted to say?
Number two is, and Tony Robbins said this actually, and I totally agree. The more uncertainty you can live with, the higher quality of life you'll live.
Yes, I'm trying to teach my oldest that right now. She's 19, and I'm trying to teach her because she freaks out when something doesn't go how she planned it to go. So I'm trying to teach her that roll with the punches more, like, okay, you can freak out for a second, but then you have to move on and you have to try to, go from there and figure out the next step, which is a really hard thing. I did not master that at 19. It took me a long time, which is why I'm trying to get my kids to master it earlier than I did. Because life is easier.
Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, and I mean...
Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Emotions are very human. I mean, you can't stop emotions. There's nothing you could do to stop emotions. They're actually a gift to us. They're the signal to tell us what we need to work on, what we need to see, what we need to pay attention to. But something that I help teach people, and again, this is a great time for it because everyone's emotions are, going crazy, right? People are judging with things that they weren't judging before. Everything's going nuts, and they're dealing with all this uncertainty. But when you feel these emotions, first of all, accept them instead of trying to reject and push them away. Second of all, we don't need to attach a meaning to the emotion. Some people will, I feel lonely. Or they'll say, I am lonely. That's owning the emotion. That's a big no-no. You feel it. You feel lonely. And then people go, I must be lonely because I'm a loser, because I'm stupid, because I'm this, because I'm that, and it was because of this fault, and I made a mistake, and I did this. And then all of a sudden you're spiraling. Instead of just feeling the emotion that is very human, and it's part of being human. And I mean, as a woman, we have to work on this 10 times harder.
I tell Colleen all the time is that, she'll do one thing and then two things. And then all of a sudden, everything from the last 2 days, all 9 of them, you think of them at once and it kills you. And I'm like, you can't do that. You just have to take them one at a time. And otherwise you will. It's so true. But how do you not do that? If that's what you do, how do you not do that?
Well, you just accept it as an emotion instead of accepting it as if there's some kind of hidden meaning to it. I mean, we're kind of like trained to, when you feel bad, it's because you did this. It's because of this. It's because of this. But, eventually you learn that just human emotions are just, there are like chemical responses. It has nothing to do with you being a failure. Oh, I'm lonely because I'm a loser. Like, I mean, how many people here have ever felt, I screwed up, that's why I feel this way?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
No, you just feel this way because you're a human.
Failure is temporary. That's how I've always felt about it. I mean, what I was going to say is, I got into a car accident a couple years ago, and I had a really nice car, and it was almost totaled. I thought at the time it was going to be totaled, and I had people asking me like, "Dude, why aren't you freaking out? Why aren't you showing any emotion?" I'm like, "It happened." So now I'm just dealing with it from here, and that's. I got out of my car and I was like, I decided and said, "Well, this is something else I got to deal with," and just pick your life up and move on from the bad thing that just happened.
Tell me if this is good.
And you don't make your bed?
No.
See, no. He doesn't need to make his bed. No, that's huge. That's huge.
Tell me if this
not many people can do that.
Sorry, Sarah. Tell me if this is good, Sarah, because it's the way I think process things, and I think it's maybe because I'm older. Is that I've been through a lot of things, and I know that the things that I go through now, I'm like, well, I got through this. So it puts into perspective that this is no big deal. But maybe when you're younger, like when you're in high school, high school's the word. You know, if
Everything
something
feels like
happens
the end of the world.
Everything's a 10. When really, in your grand scheme of things, it's really like a 2. But maybe is it because I can deal with that stuff? I'm like, dude, I was in prison. This, no big deal. I had a divorce. This, no big deal. You know, you kind of put it in perspective, and I think that helps me throughout life.
Yeah, well, again, it goes back to, even teenagers. They do it the worst. They attach these meanings to the emotions, and they're having more emotions, more conflicting emotions. They'll feel both of the opposite emotion at the same time, and then they think they're crazy. That doesn't mean you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're going through the human experience. That's just what it is. But, if we can give our children an awareness that your emotions don't have any specific meaning of you screwing up or you being a loser or you being stupid, or don't attach those meanings to it. It's just a normal human thing to feel loneliness, anger, frustration, sadness, even depression sometimes. It's just a human response. It's a chemical response. We make it worse by attaching these meanings.
Wow, that's good stuff. I mean, just in this last, well, first of all, we went 5 minutes over because it was so good. But in this last,
we should have had you on earlier because I feel like we could have done a whole hour with you.
The whole show could have been you.
I totally agree, Sarah. You are.
We need to have you back, seriously.
Yeah, we will. There's a reason. There's a reason you're successful, and obviously we can see that in 20 minutes. Why? The CEO of SaaS Boss, Sarah Weiss.
So where can we get more of Sarah? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm on Facebook. I'm like a Facebook diva, so that's where you'll find me the most. I'm trying to like LinkedIn and all these other ones. I'm like dipping my toe, and I don't really know what I'm doing. But Facebook, I'm all over the place. If you go to saasboss.com, you can look into my group coaching rates. If you go to saasbooks.com, my new book that I'm publishing May 30th, actually, so 10 days away. In 10 days away, my first book's going to be published. It's called Not Born This Way.
Congratulations, and I am going to buy that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And add it to my Amazon shopping list.
Sarah, you are amazing. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, and we will definitely have you back before your book comes out. Go ahead.
And the world needs more of her right now.
Absolutely.
And thank you. In just that 15 minutes, I seriously can feel a relief and a little bit of anxiety gone. Thank you so much for that.
Wow.
Gina.
You guys are so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Colleen. Go ahead.
Gina, drop your wish list. I'll drop mine. I'll gift it to you. You gift it to me.
No, that's not how it works.
You just feel a little like worried, like you feel like a little better about it because I didn't buy it for me. I bought it for Gina.
Exactly.
No. What we do is everyone sends your list to Sarah. She's a millionaire. What the hell? Let's make her buy that stuff.
I want to give Sarah my money. That's what I want to do.
Sarah, thank you so much.
I like you guys.
Oh, thank you. You were fun. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Please come back
Thank
soon.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Please.
I would love to. I'd be honored to. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you. SaaS Boss, CEO Sarah Weiss. That's
Love
it, you guys.
her.
Oh, she is awesome. I heard a clip of her on another show, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get her. Just the little 30-second clip. I'm like, she's so good.
I totally want to move to Canada and be her neighbor. I mean, I already wanted to move to Canada, but now I want to live wherever she lives.
You want to be your friend. You want to be your friend, don't you?
Yeah.
I do. I do.
I mean, good healthcare and good neighbors. Hell yeah.
And she's got a kick butt wall in the back.
All right, we ran a little long tonight. For Tony D, thank you for sitting in, brother. We appreciate you as always. Coming to us from the East Coast, Denny Crum, Southside Gina, Colleen Z. I'm Andrew Z. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock.
Come on!